Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Your northern experience is never complete without a stop at the historic Ma Dieters of Luzerne. Enjoy the ambiance inside or outside on the huge patio area. Order from the complete menu with entrees served hot, fresh, and good. Come experience Ma Dieters in the heart of God's country, Luzerne, Michigan. Introducing the Weed Gator. For safe and easy aquatic weed removal, the Weed Gator is the #1 alternative to harsh chemicals for getting rid of pond and lake weeds. Safe and effective. See it in action now at weedgator.net. Made in the USA. On this week's Michigan Magazine, we bring you highlights of the 2015 Cowboy Weekend in Northern Michigan. Cowboy hero lookalikes from across the country rode into town to bring the past back to life. It was an amazing weekend. Then we're heading to Tally's in Lewiston for one of Michigan's best burgers, the Tally Burger. And while we're eating, we can't forget about man's best friend. They deserve the best. Would you be willing to eat your pet's food? Well, we know of a company that claims they place as high standards on their pet food as the USDA puts on ours. And they're willing to prove it exclusively here. Stay tuned. It's coming up on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. What began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more. Plus a full menu at the new adjacent traffic stop diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery. On Michigan Magazine, we've shown you that dreams do come true in the story of Michigander Spike Cooper, whose determination brought about an old west town that has drawn the curious and fellow dreamers to this out-of-the-way wilderness oasis of days gone by. We've also brought you the story of how another man's dream of bringing Old West heroes of the silver screen back to life for a new generation to appreciate and emulate in an annual Cowboy Days celebration. Clifford Parent of South Branch, also a Michigan Magazine producer, started bringing cowboy lookalikes to Michigan celebrations over 14 years ago, each year delighting kids and kids at heart. 2015 was a very special year when these two dreamers came together. Cliff and crew coordinated and made it possible for his cowboy lookalike heroes to not only make their regular appearances in Ogemaw and Clare counties, but also an entire day was spent in Oscoda County at Coopersville, Old West Town. It was a big finale of the weekend. It took the Cowboys to Parkview Acres in Lupton. Lovewell's Corners. Clare, Michigan. Then, of course, Coopersville, USA.
You're crazy if you do.
Hero lookalikes included Annie Oakley, the Lone Ranger, Lash LaRue, Gene Autry,
where the longhorn cattle feed on the lowly gypsum weed. Back in the saddle again.
Tom Mix, Gabby Hayes,
yes sir, Bob,
John Wayne, Rooster Cogburn, Matt Dillon, the Four Vigilantes, Gus, a Native American reenactor. Thousands turned out to greet and meet the Cowboys, get their autograph, and take pictures and selfies to preserve the memories. There were barbecues, knife and hatchet throwing, a laser shooting gallery, fast draw demonstrations, bank robberies, Main Street shootouts, and buckboard runs. All in all, the good guys prevailed. It was a dream weekend for many, including the hero lookalike themselves. Many of them growing up when those heroes they were portraying graced the silver screen. On upcoming Michigan Magazine shows, we'll take a moment to get to know some of the lookalikes to find out what portraying the heroes of yesteryear means to them. Today we talk with Alan By, who portrays the sidekick Gabby Hayes.
Well, what happened is originally I was going to the Roy Rogers Festival in Portsmouth, Ohio. And this man said, well, you want to take some pictures? And I said, well, I don't look like Roy because I have a beard. And he said, well, you could get fat and you can be Andy Devine. I said, well, no, I don't want to do that. So I come up with this Gabby Hayes outfit. So I went to Portsmouth to take my picture with him. Well, he didn't show up. And then I got into a costume contest. I won, and then I got invited to a festival. And once I started going to festivals, I kept getting invited more and more and more. So 20 years later, here I am still doing it.
There you go. What would you say would be the finest attribute of Gabby that kind of attracts people the most? Besides his beard.
Besides his beard, his personality is yes sirree, Bob, and his humor. He could be funny, he could be serious. Whatever you needed for his part, he could do.
Yeah.
In reality, he had been a vaudeville actor and stuff, so he could tap dance, he could sing. Yeah, so when they did singing musicals with Roy and Dale, they could use him to sing and dance and stuff. He did in A Song of Arizona, he did a tap dance with a little boy that they're doing a Halloween thing, and he had a coonskin cap on and two guns, and both of them got out and did a little tap dance and stuff. So he was extremely talented. See, he had been on stage for 25 years before he ever went to Hollywood.
No kidding. A lot of these things people don't realize.
Yep. He had a long career. He had retired from the stage and come out west, and then he got into movies and stuff. So, and he kind of did a lot of different movies, and then he got into westerns. He started doing westerns with John Wayne, and then it kind of picked up from there. And then he worked with Hopalong Cassidy as Wendy Holiday, and he became a big star. And the producers weren't real thrilled because he was getting a lot of other offers, so he left them, went to Republic Studios with Roy and them guys, and they let him do movies with Roy and Randolph Scott and John Wayne and whoever he wanted, because it was great advertisement for them, and he was real popular in those movies. He did about 170 movies.
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And he did a TV show later on after he got out of movies and stuff. As a matter of fact, for a year, he was replacement for Buffalo Bob on Howdy Doody show because Buffalo Bob had a heart attack. So they called him to substitute with Howdy Doody for a year.
As Gabby Hayes?
As Gabby Hayes, yep.
No kidding. Well, that's a classic. We'll have to check it out.
I've never seen any of the episodes, but I've seen his TV show. Where he didn't play a part. They would take a movie like a Buster Crabbe movie or a Lash LaRue movie, and then they would cut it into a half an hour, and he'd fill in the gaps, and then he'd have his stories and what have you.
Yeah. Well, that's great to bring back the Old West for the new generation. A lot of people
we hope so.
Realize that this generation of silver screen heroes was out there. I mean, it's something that has got to be renewed and let people know
I think so.
There's different type of attitude back then. You knew when the bad guys were the bad and the good guys were the good.
It was always values about right and wrong.
Yeah.
And you knew who the good guys were, you knew who the bad guys were, and the good guys were going to do good. They weren't going to all of a sudden change and become a bad guy.
Michigan, we are a proud Midwestern state. Michiganders are not from the East Coast nor the West Coast. Michigan is lovingly referred to as the Fresh Coast State, surrounded by 4 of the Great Lakes and beautiful Lake St. Clair, with over 60,000 inland lakes and ponds, bringing tourists and residents into the great outdoors. It's so easy to work up an appetite. In our state, we have learned how to satisfy that hunger with wonderful restaurants and unique foods, not only along the main thoroughfares, but off the beaten path. As a matter of fact, if you're cruising through northern Michigan near the off the beaten path community of Lewiston, Lewiston, near East or West Twin Lake, and are hankering for a good burger. Not only will you be told of what locals lovingly call the Tally Burger, but as you approach the center of town, you'll spot dozens of cars filling the parking lot of the historic Tally's Tavern. Here since the 1940s, Tally's has been feeding the discriminating taste of locals and tourists with a menu that keeps them coming back. The major draw is the Tally Burger, voted recently as one of the top 10 burgers ever created in the state of Michigan. The Tally family opened this famous watering hole back in about 1945 until the 1960s, until the Smith family took over the operation, ensuring continuation of great food, wonderful service that would preserve the royalty of the Tally's Burger. We visited one warm autumn afternoon to find out about this burger that brings back loyal patrons year after year, and were mesmerized at how such a small kitchen was able to kick out over 700 Tally's burgers in a single day. It was just big enough for the cook and our cameraman. We quickly placed our order and slipped out onto the patio where we visited with owner Bird Smith about the Tally's tradition. You've been around here since the 60s, right, Bird?
Correct, 1968.
Tell us how this all came about for you and how you acquired Tally's.
Well, my parents bought it in 1968, and I was like 12 or 13 years old at the time, and I started working, doing kitchen stuff and whatever after school, and it was never planned for me to end up taking over the bar, but I started working, and then after I got out of high school, I started working here full time, and I just continued on, and next thing you know, I guess like I'm at 32 years old, I guess I'm going to be a bar owner. So it was a great thing for us. So.
I tell you what, how in the world did Tally's become such a landmark here? I mean, what is your trade? I mean, what does people really, when they say Tally's in Lewiston, what are they thinking about?
The burger, obviously. Okay. The burger. So Mrs. Tally started Tally's Bar in 1945 and owned it for 23 years, and then my parents bought it from her. Okay. And it's always been known as the burger place in Lewiston, and obviously it's expanded as we've grown and gotten bigger, so it's pretty much known across the country.
What's the secret there? Why are people's mouths watering so much?
I don't know. It's I can take everything home and make it at home, and it just doesn't taste like a Tally burger at home. Not at all. Never does. Yeah.
So this has been in your family for many years.
Yes, it
has.
Yep.
And you've seen a lot of improvements. I see this patio is kind of a fairly new, is it?
Actually, we put it on, and I believe in 1994 we added a deck on. So and that was a struggle to get used to having 60 or 70 more seats on a busy day, because obviously you've seen our kitchen. It's not a very big kitchen to start with. So
so Lewiston's got a lot of heritage here. I mean, it's got a lot of logging industry, and then it's just a landmark that people come to get away from it all and just relax.
Yeah, correct. The best thing about Lewiston is you got to want to come here, because there's not an easy way to get here. You just don't get off I-75 or 31 to get to Lewiston, so you got to work to get here.
And you get a lot of patrons that are returning patrons?
Oh, without a doubt. We have obviously we have the lakes around here, many lakes, East and West Twin right here in town, and then Garland Resort is a 4-star resort, and does many golf rounds there in a year, and we definitely get a lot of golfers.
What is the secret of people coming back?
Obviously we take care of them. We try and be nice to them, and I do a lot of joking around with them and whatever. So people like to get called by their name, and we have a lot of fun with them. And the burger. I mean, people come back even if they don't like me. They still come back for the burger. So.
So what are the plans, hopes, and dreams? Do you have any? I mean, it looks like you've come to a point where people are satisfied.
Yeah, actually, I think we obviously you've seen our kitchen. It's not very big, but I have a son that's 24 years old. He graduated from Michigan State, and he's active in the business, and his dream is to end up taking over the bar.
My goodness. Got a full parking lot, and here it is. It's only Thursday.
Yep.
I mean, summer's over.
Yeah, look at this guy. You always think you always want to try and do better, but then you do a Saturday like Labor Day weekend when we cook over 600 burgers. It's like, wow. I think we're big enough as it is right there. Yeah. Right. So.
Well, I tell you what. And you've got other things on the menu too.
Yep. Okay. But it's all short order stuff. I mean, we do fish and we do shrimp and wingdings, but obviously it's about the burger. So.
So if you want the best burger in the area, perhaps in the state of Michigan, want something, a taste that'll bring you back time and time again, you gotta visit Tally. We've got quite the tradition to hold up.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in the fact that I'm the third generation to do it.
Great. Yeah,
luckily I have two great parents that have worked their entire lives here for the most part.
Yep.
They have it down to a science, and I'm excited for it. So
it's good. Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Misty of Sweet Misty Sweets in Luzerne is waiting for you with delicious banana splits and other ice cream goodies and fresh coffee, donuts, pastries, humongous, and Dunkin' cookies. All sizes of cakes. Planning a wedding? Call Misty. Creating smiles daily and for a lifetime. Sweet Misty Sweets, north of the light in Luzerne. Hale Hardware, your do-it center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pull. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pull. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. Michigan Magazine TV is constantly on the road, discovering and spotlighting the Michigan entrepreneur, the business people along Michigan's back roads, promoting the spirit of Michigan and America with the products they create or represent. You'll spot our crew at business expos throughout the Midwest, like this one held a few months ago in Ogemaw County. This is where we ran into our friends at Holistic Pampered Pets of West Branch and Oscoda. With their made-in-Michigan products and quality USA pet products, here is where we were amazed at the quality and care that goes into every product, handled by owner Ken and the two stores. In this evening's expo in the Holistic Pampered Pets booth was a representative from Merrick Pet Products Company, a company Ken and crew proudly handle as a natural made in the USA product. This is where the question came to mind: how confident do you feel with your pet's food? Would you be willing to actually go as far as take a bite? Well, hold on to your boots, because Patty from Merrick had every confidence and trust in her product to do just that. Just watch.
Well, Merrick Pet Care is based out of Amarillo, Texas.
Okay.
We're a small company, but we do things in a big way.
All right.
We have 5 commitments to our consumers, and we use local growers. Everything that we use is all natural. Our facility is certified organic.
All right.
And that is, we do make castor and pollux.
Okay.
With the safety of the food that we feed our pet, we want them to have the very best. So that's why we use all this fresh food. That's exactly what it looks like when it comes into our facility.
Okay.
Apples come in as whole
One
apples.
of the ways that I describe it easy is a lot of the stuff in the stores, a bowl of popcorn. This is a home-cooked meal.
Oh, okay.
Balanced, of all the nutrition, vitamins, minerals, everything you need for an even, well-balanced diet.
This one actually has a whole chicken wing in it that we actually place right in.
Hold that up.
And
there it is. That is all.
Goodness.
and
Look at that.
It is cooked, pressure cooked,
and hand-packed.
hand packed.
Oh my goodness. Now this
This
is
has
unusual.
the bone and all.
Look at that.
There's a chicken wing. This bone just turns to mush.
It'll
Okay,
just-
so it's not something somebody has to worry about.
No, it'll turn to mush, but
Okay.
still get the nutrients it needs in the bones.
How amazing. That's amazing. Wow.
And it is good enough to eat.
Oh, hey.
It's what we eat. It's a Tyson chicken wing. It's a little bland.
Yeah.
Needs some salt and pepper, but
Uh-huh.
it's
It
good
is
to
a
go.
Tyson wing.
Very good. Very good. I
So
tell
all
you
of our, that's the type of food we sell for dogs. It's all natural,
what, all natural.
healthy.
Okay.
Dogs eat better than we do.
I tell you what, they should. They're very loyal. We have this available in the area, in the state of Michigan now, too, of course.
And we also have a store in Oscoda.
In Oscoda.
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
So there's 2 ways to get a hold of us.
Okay. Very
And we'll make sure we get a hold of you. And my wife Linda, she runs the one in Oscoda.
All right, so we've heard a lot about you.
Okay.
A lot of inspiration behind that lady. Very good.
That was her idea. This is all hers, so yeah.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
sharing
over
with
here.
us And thank you for sharing the product.
Oh, thank you.
Your northern experience is never complete without a stop at the historic Ma Dieters of Luzerne. Enjoy the ambiance inside or outside on the huge patio area. Order from the complete menu with entrees served hot, fresh, and good. Come experience Ma Dieters in the heart of God's country, Luzerne, Michigan. Inchman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mayo, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Asabo River. A family getaway for over 75 years. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mayo, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mayo. Thanks for joining us. The Michigan Renaissance Festival is going on now through October 2nd in Holly, Michigan. If you'd like tickets, email us now and tell us about it. We're giving away pairs of passes each week. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. A winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Something special's cooking, hot and delicious. Indulge yourself at Morning at Maggie's in Bay City. Omelets, frittatas, hotcakes, and more. Make every day special with a stop at Morning at Maggie's for breakfast or lunch on Saginaw in Bay City. Flu season. Be prepared. Get your immunizations now at Rose City Drug, your one-stop pharmacy, home health care, and medical supply outlet. Offering a variety of on-site immunizations. Walk-ins are of course welcome. Call now for more information.